guys, how you doing? My name's Emily Dolan Davis from emilydrums.com, and I am a remote session drummer. Basically, that means that if you have any music that you want some drums recorded, you can send over your guide tracks to me. I'll record on them and then send you back some stems, some multi-tracks. You can then put them into your project, do with them what you like, and create some professional music all over the magic of the internet. So I just wanted to put a quick video out there to show the best way to prepare your files for any remote musician. So obviously I'm going to talk in terms of drummer, since that is what I am. And yeah, hopefully it'll help you just take you through the step-by-step process and the easiest way to do things from your side, and consequently for whoever you're working with, because it's all about just making life a little bit easier for each other, because yeah, life's hard enough. So I want to start with this track that I have created from using Apple Loops. Basically, I am no guitarist, but I have created a guide track that something that is quite possibly something that I might receive on any given day. Someone that might want to have drums replaced, and because as you can see there is a drum track on there, and just make it sound more natural and more personal and more played to their song rather than just this general drum loop, which is great, but you know, there's only so far that you can enjoy that, really. So I will play you this track. I'm just going to mute this click here, just so you can get an idea of the kind of thing that you might send. So as you can hear, I mean, obviously this is an Apple Loops thing, but you can hear the drums, it's a loop, it's never going to lock in the right way, basically. But humans, we can do that! So, right, let's say that you have this song, this is your project, and you want to prep your files for a session musician. So, first off is I have this click track here, which I will have recorded to, hopefully. That's the other thing. You need some basic knowledge of sort of recording to a click. That would help me personally. It's not the end of the world if you haven't, or you're not able to, you find it difficult, that's totally fine. But ideally that would be good. So I've got this lovely, it's always so fulfilling to the soul, a click track. That's actually not a bad click track. So yeah, right, we've got the click track, we have some guide drums, and we have this guide guitar that you've recorded. And I mean, you can literally send across anything. It can be a guide guitar, it can be a guide piano, it could be a guide bass line, it could be all three, it could be with vocals as well. Sometimes I get very bare bone guide tracks, other times I get quite full productions, and the live drums are coming later on in the process. So it really doesn't matter what stage you're at in creating a song. I've even had people come to me with nothing and basically just give me a brief of like, I'd like a pop sort of sound, or like I'd like it to sound like a Jack White kind of song at around this tempo, could you do something? And I've done something with that. But we'll just talk about this. So let's get this song ready for me. Perfect. So first things first is I want to put on a cycle range just between the beginning of the song and the end of the song, funnily enough, just so, you know, we could export the whole thing, but to export the whole project right up until around here is just going to make for a bigger file. There's no point, it's a lot of silence, it's irrelevant. The next thing I want you to notice is the sample rate that we're recording at up here, which is 44.1 kilohertz. And again, welcome to, if you're recording at 48 kilohertz, that's fine, 88.2, fine, 96, absolutely fine. And then also up here, I'm not sure why this is slightly odd, but this should be just 90 BPM, beats per minute. It's the speed that you recorded at. Again, very useful for me, because when I'm recording I like to put things onto a grid so that if I do need to do any comping from my side of things, it just makes it easier for everything to snap into place and to do some nice transitions, and it sounds very natural, hopefully. That's my aim, at least. Human. Is that the word? Human. I like it to sound human. Okay, so we've got our cycle range. We know that we're recording at 44.1. We know that we are also recording at 90.0003 beats per minute. Beats per minute, but we'll call it 90 just for cash. Now what we're going to do is we're going to export these 3 songs. Now obviously it's different if you're working in Pro Tools or Ableton or whatever. You just need to know how to export your tracks. And again, you could say you had 3 guide tracks, so guitar, bass, keys. You can just bounce all 3 of those as one track. You're welcome to bounce them separately. It doesn't make too much of a difference. But what I would say is name each of your tracks as what they are. So this is the guide track, but let's say it's just the guitar, so you might want to call it guitar, and then at least when it's being exported, you know that it's going to export as something with guitar in the title, which helps me, especially when I'm sort of like trying to figure out which things I'm muting so that the bits that I'm recording over. Right, I've called it guide again. Right, I'm going to export this, which is just Apple and E for me. And what I'm going to do now is go to the desktop. I'm going to create a new folder. Now the way that I like people to name my files, and everybody's different of course, but if you're working with me and you do this, you'll literally be my favourite person of the day. And you think I'm joking, I'm really not. I love people that are very together and systematic. It works. Musicians, we're all a bit OCD, which is fine. So here's how I would love you to name your folder. Sorry, right. Your name to start with. So Emily Dolan Davies. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but there you go. And then followed by the song name, which I've decided to call my song My Awesome Song. And then followed by the sample rate, which I know is going to be 44.1. Don't worry about the kilohertz. I kind of get the vibe. And then also followed by the tempo, which super helps me. So 90 BPM. You don't need to put in the BPM if you don't like, but as in the literal BPM. But yeah, just give me a number, any number. Right, what I'm going to do now, just to save me some time, is just copy that. And so create that. There's my folder. Excellent, we love it. Now, I don't know how it is on Pro Tools or Ableton or whatever, but on Logic, there's this nifty thing where you can put in like a base name or bunch of whatever you want. You can put that before every track name, which is amazing. So I'm going to call this, well, I just copied, so I'm just going to paste exactly the same information. That means that from my side of things, when I receive this, let's say for some reason it all gets a bit messed up and I don't know where anything is, I can just come back and go, okay, cool. Like, I know what I'm looking for. I know that I'm looking for Emily Dolan Davis's file because I seem to have misplaced them somehow. I've moved them, and yeah, that sort of rubbish. So yeah, the more information that I have on a file name, the better for me. So range, like we said before, export cycle range only because we don't want the whole project. It's just a bunch of silence. There's no point, and it's a bigger file. Wave format, I don't mind if you send me an MP3. That's totally fine. Yeah, as long as I've got the information there, I'm happy. And then bit depth, 24-bit is great for me. No more, no less. There's no point of any less, really. And then anything else you want. Overload protection, yeah, you can normalise it if you like, or maybe even switch it off. The only thing I'd say is try to not have anything distorting, because it makes it difficult for anyone really recording and listening to that, because your ears get very tired very quickly. So please no distorted stuff, thank you. Right, so I'm going to export that to that folder. So that is just exporting the guide track. I can do the same with the drums and the click. I will do those at the same time. So they will be 2 separate files. Again, that's the same pattern at the beginning, so it all kind of correlates, and my OCD is very happy, so I'll just export those to the same file. Okay, right, and now we should have, go back to the Finder, not you. So here's my file, Emily Dolan Davis, my awesome song, 44.1, 90 BPM, and we have the click. Got some drums. We got the guide track, brilliant, and they're all the same length, and they're all there, yeah! The next part of this would be to then, so we've got your file here, is then to upload it to a file sharing site, and by that I mean something like, here we go, Dropbox, or Google Drive, or WeTransfer. There's many others, obviously. Those three are kind of a great starting point. Like if you've never done anything like this, I think WeTransfer is really good because you don't even need an account. It's literally like just add your files, and then yeah, you'll get a download link which you can then send me, and I can download the files at my leisure. And yeah, that's kind of like the quick, easy and best way to get your files together for any remote session player. I guarantee you, if you do it like this and you send it to any musician, they'll be so happy with you, because sometimes you receive files and you're like, I just don't even know what I'm looking at. They're starting in different places and finishing in different places, and you know that it's a mess. You don't know what's the guide, or sometimes the drums are bounced with the guide track, which is just useless because I can't record to that because it influences what I play. And also when I'm sending you something to listen to, you don't want to have the guide track on there. Same with the click. Nobody wants to be listening to a click, not really. So if you can just separate those three things, bounce them like that, I'll be your best friend, I promise. Anyway, I'm going to do another video, and in that next video I'm going to show you exactly how you would then literally book in with me, and what you should expect from that. So anyway, I will see you in the next video. Alright, see you later.